The Kelvara Research Outpost was built into the caldera rim of Mount Infernus on the volcanic moon, Pyros 7, a testament to humanoid ambition and the desire to understand extreme geological processes. Dr. Sera Vynthar, a Therayan geologist, knew this posting was dangerous. Her species evolved on cool, temperate worlds with limited heat tolerance, but her passion for understanding volcanic systems outweighed the risk. Until the day Mount Infernus, dormant for 43 years, erupted without warning. The catastrophe began with seismic readings that exceeded all previous data. Within minutes, evacuation orders echoed through the outpost as lava began flowing through fissures opening directly beneath their feet. Sera was 3 levels underground in the deep laboratory when the shaking started. By the time she realized the severity, evacuation was already underway. She ran for the stairs, blocked by structural collapse. She tried the emergency shaft, filling with smoke and superheated gases. She was trapped in a section, rapidly heating as lava flowed through newly opened fissures below. Her emergency thermal suit would protect her for maybe 20 minutes, far less than rescue would take. She activated her emergency beacon. "This is Dr. Vynthar. I'm trapped in deep lab section C if anyone can hear this. I don't think I'm getting out." On the surface, evacuation was nearly complete. Commander Jessica Torres realized they were missing one person, Dr. Vynthar, still showing on internal sensors, but in a location about to be completely engulfed. "She's too deep," Torres said grimly. "We can't reach her. The structure won't hold." But Ryan Chen, a human engineer specializing in extreme environment rescue, was already suiting up in heavy thermal gear designed for brief incursions into volcanic activity. "I can reach her. If I move fast." Torres stared at him. "Chen, that section is collapsing. You'll both die." "Maybe, but she definitely dies if nobody tries." He was gone before Torres could order him to stand down. Ryan's descent into the dying outpost was a journey through hell. The structure groaned around him, metal warping from heat, walls cracking as the foundation gave way. His thermal suit registered external temperatures, climbing past safe thresholds immediately. He had maybe 15 minutes before the suit failed catastrophically. He was still several levels above Sera's position. He moved through smoke and ash, following the facility schematic burned into his memory. Emergency lighting flickered and died. Behind him, sections collapsed into lava below. This was objectively insane, violated every safety protocol. But Ryan had spent 5 years in extreme environment rescue, pulling people from situations the odds said were impossible. He reached the partially collapsed stairwell. The heat here was immense, his suit's cooling systems struggling. He forced through debris, ignoring screaming warnings from his suit systems. In the deep lab, Sera had accepted she was going to die. Heat was unbearable. Smoke filled corridors. She was trapped in a small equipment room, the only space not directly exposed to lava. Then she heard something over the eruption's roar, a voice, distorted but definitely human. "Dr. Vynthar, if you can hear me make noise, I'm coming for you." Sera thought she was hallucinating. But she responded anyway, shouting and banging on the wall, because dying with hope was better than dying in silence. Ryan followed the sound through corridors more sauna than structure. His suit was failing, thermal indicators deep in red zones, cooling systems overtaxed. He could feel heat seeping through, his skin beginning to burn. He found the equipment room, the door jammed by heat-warped debris. He didn't have time for careful work, used a breaching tool, applied force that sent pain through his overheating body, tore the door open. Sera stared at him in shock. The human was barely visible through smoke, but he was real, reaching for her with an expression that said he had no intention of dying here. "We need to move now," Ryan said, his voice harsh from smoke. "Can you walk?" Sera nodded, too stunned to speak. Ryan grabbed her arm and pulled her into the corridor. Behind them, the floor gave way and lava began flowing in. They had maybe 5 minutes before this entire level collapsed. The escape was a nightmare sprint through a dying structure. Ryan's thermal suit was failing catastrophically, outer layer charring, cooling systems shut down completely. Burns formed across his back and shoulders, but he didn't slow down, didn't let go of Sera's arm. Sera's suit was holding better, Therayan models more protective, but she was exhausted, barely keeping pace. Ryan was essentially dragging her now. They reached the collapsed stairwell and Ryan realized his route down was no longer viable. For the first time, doubt crept in. He might have killed them both. Then he remembered the maintenance shaft, a straight shot to surface, but exposed to direct heat. "There's another way," he said, voice raw. "It's going to be bad, but it's our only shot." The shaft was as bad as he feared. Temperature astronomical, walls glowing with heat. Ryan's suit began actively burning. Behind him, Sera cried out as heat hit her. Ryan wrapped his arms around her, using his body to shield her from radiant heat, and started climbing. It wasn't a ladder anymore, rungs warped and melted. It was scaling a superheated chimney, each handhold agony. Sera was barely conscious. Ryan carried her weight, climbed with strength that should have failed, pushed through pain that should have stopped him. They emerged into upper levels, still dangerous, still collapsing, but survivable. Ryan's suit was destroyed, more char than protection. His hands and arms burned, his back burning. But he could see the exit, the emergency airlock where the final transport waited. Ryan staggered toward it, carrying Sera, leaving a trail of burned material and blood. He made it to the airlock, fell through as it cycled, collapsed on the landing pad. The transport lifted off seconds later. Below them, the Kelvara Research Outpost disappeared into the caldera. Ryan woke in the medical bay 3 days later. His injuries were extensive: burns across 40% of his body, severe smoke inhalation, heat exhaustion that should have killed him. He'd recover thanks to regenerative treatments, but it would take weeks. The medical team called him an idiot who should have died a dozen times. Ryan accepted the assessment. Commander Torres visited, torn between commendation and court-martial. "You saved her life, and almost threw yours away doing it." "Why not both?" Ryan suggested. Torres almost smiled. "Dr. Vynthar wants to see you." Sera entered carefully, like someone who'd been through trauma. She sat beside his bed. For a long moment, neither spoke. Finally, Sera said, "You walked through fire to save me. That's not metaphor, you literally walked through fire. Your suit was burning, you should have died." "Probably," Ryan admitted, "but you definitely would have if I hadn't tried." "There was nothing logical about what you did." Her long ears trembled with emotion. "I'd accepted I was going to die. And then you appeared, walking through hell itself, and carried me out. Why?" Ryan was quiet then. "Because leaving someone to die when I could help isn't something I can live with. Because every person matters. Because I've been in situations where I needed someone to do the impossible for me, and they did." Sera's crystalline tears fell. "You did the impossible. You proved that some hearts burn brighter than any fire. I will carry that memory for the rest of my life." Over following weeks, as Ryan recovered and Sera assisted with the investigation, they developed friendship built on intense, shared experience. Sera learned about Ryan's sister, lost in a mining accident because rescue came too late. About his determination to be fast enough that no one else dies waiting for help. Ryan learned about Sera's passion for volcanic research despite her species' heat intolerance, about her family's concerns, about her realization that some risks aren't worth taking. "I'm transferring to cooler climates," Sera told him. "Ice worlds, maybe." "That's probably smart," Ryan agreed. "But don't let one bad experience stop you from following your passion." Months later, when Ryan returned to rescue work and Sera set up a new research program on Europa, they stayed in contact. And when anyone asked Sera about surviving Pyros 7, she told them about the human who walked through fire. He charged into an inferno that should have killed him. His suit burned. His body burned. But he never stopped. That kind of courage, that refusal to accept that some lives are too dangerous to save, that's what humanity brings to the galaxy. And Ryan, training new rescue specialists, used Pyros 7 as a teaching case about mindset. There's a moment in every impossible rescue where you decide, turn back or push forward despite odds. That decision comes from your fundamental belief about whether people are worth saving. On Pyros 7, I decided a Therayan geologist I barely knew was worth walking through fire for, and I'd make that choice again. And somewhere on Europa, Sera read Ryan's training materials and smiled. She sent a message: "Stay safe. And if you can't stay safe, stay brave. The galaxy needs people who will walk through fire." Ryan's response: "The galaxy needs scientists who push boundaries. Just do it